It's the Caleb Lee MTG Show.
Wow. I almost missed the Soul Ring down there. Yeah, let's grab a Soul Ring. Sorry, Mana Crypt. There's certainly archetypes where Mana Crypt is better. Notably, one where Soul Ring shines is Artifact.Dek, right? Take a bunch of extra turns, Mana Crypt could just kill you. What a pack. Yeah, hell of a pack there. Is green soup the way to draft this cube? No. You just saw me go fucking 1 and 2. I was talking about how, like, having to play all those tapped lands, like, really slowed down the mana base. It was pretty uncomfy. You can. It can be fine. I have more trophies this season with mono green than with, like, 4-color green. And it's not super close. Guess I'm supposed to grab that Urza. Yeah, let's do that. Soul Ring, one of the very best cards for a base artifact deck, huh? I'm not super stoked about Flooded Strands in my base artifact deck. We don't have to be like super base artifacts though. We could just have an Urza. And there's really just nothing else here. Talisman's okay. It's really not what we're looking for in terms of like signals that artifacts is open. Abandoned ship, take Ice Still. I guess Blightsteel cuts what I'm going for. Ice Still into Exploration would have been sweet. I'm gonna do so many more fucking fast spawn decks this season. I've been really enjoying the landfall deck in the cube. Most broken run of the season, Peluso. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the Fractured. Last deck, I think that deck was just like a little bit slow for it. I don't think this deck will have that problem. This has been a lot of Euro beats. Yeah, looks like we're sliding into the blue-white control-y shell and maybe have an artifact sub-theme. Could be good. Stuff where we have stuff for Soul Ring to do, but we're not depending on it, maybe. I like an Otawara. I haven't quite given up on artifacts yet, though. I'm going to grab the Planisphere. Blue Striker, you're talking about paper cards, your paper collection. I'm sure a lot of folks here have. Your option is to basically farm it off to an LGS and lose a lot of value, or try to maximize your value selling on like eBay. Or Facebook has a lot of buy and sell groups. Ooh, Shorkai. A lot of people do a middle ground where they like sell the higher value cards online, and then sell the medium and low value stuff to a store. The stuff that's more time intensive to move. I disagree over Voltage. I think that is the absolute worst way to get rid of a collection. No offense if there's any GP vendors watching. If you're selling to your LGS, then you're losing a little bit of value, right? But you're putting that value into a community that you take part in. More cards in the local ecosystem. More people have stuff for their decks that they want. There's more cool events. Your LGS gets to stay open when they might close otherwise. Like, I'm not saying that like one card sale makes all the difference in the world. It's not a straw camel's back situation, but you're also gonna like know the LGS people better. GP vendors have gotten better over the years, but the only times I've had people like actually try to rip me off when I was selling a lot of cards were GP vendors. What they'll often do is allow the buyers to take commissions on the cards. Like, they've got a buy list, right? And then whatever the buyers buy the cards for underneath the buy list, they get to, like, pocket the difference. And they don't care because, you know, they just want the buy list to be filled. And that's, like, a cheap way to give their buyers value. But it is incentivizing the buyers to just, like, absolutely scum the crap out of you. Yeah, we're gonna grab this Academy. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna grab this Tez and hope to wheel that Emery. Tez tutoring Soul Ring and untapping Soul Ring is very good. I've been really impressed with Tez. A little Spell Bomb. If we can wheel that Emery, could be good. Could line up well. Thinking about Ancient Tomb. Thinking about that Basalt Monolith. Certainly a deck that could use both, huh? I'm gonna grab the Basalt Monolith, I guess. We already have one way to untap it with this Tez. If we get the Blink thing, then coming to Jewel is pretty excellent. Cryptic could be pretty sweet. Like, Academy just taps for Cryptic by itself. Let's grab this Sweeper here for the sideboard. Maybe even main deck. Solitude's not crazy. I'm gonna grab that there, Seachrome there. A little Portable Hole action. Path's a better card than Portable Hole, but Portable Hole juices up the Academy, and that's awesome. You know, it's another artifact from Mox Opal. Oh, you saw one of my wedding photos, Vilbris? I appreciate that. Can Tez get Portable Hole? That's a good question. Yeah, you can grab it. Think about Thraben. Think about Time Warp. Time Warp and Urza are pretty good together. Pretty just good in this sort of deck. Nice. We got the Emery Wheel. This is going to be a good-ass Emery deck, I tell ya. Little Line Sash for the sideboard. Thinking about map, thinking about top. Top plays really well with Tez. You can, like, tutor up the top and then, you know, play it every turn. You get loyalty counters. I want map for the Academy, but I think there's a good chance the map comes back to me. And I think top fits more decks. I think it's less likely to wheel. So we do have a Blightsteel in the sideboard for the Tinker. I mostly took the Blightsteel to, like, cut artifacts as an archetype so that people would stay off my turf. I wasn't really hankering to tinker for Tinker Blightsteel stuff. I'm gonna take this Bobble. That's what I'm gonna do. Little Swords. Just such a good fucking card, that Swords to Plowshares. We're gonna grab that and wheel this Kappa Cannoneer, and that'll turn out pretty well. A little Crocus in the mana base. Yeah, why not? Why not? Zerdan Basalt Monolith is indeed infinite mana. Infinite mana is not very good in this deck, though. I think we saw Thopter Foundry earlier. Might just be my drafts merging together, though. I think I like the Echo. Yeah, I think this is looking sick. Sick as. Thinking about Oust. Considering a green splash for Tamio, actually. Could just take the Talisman. Props is good with Echo, but I don't think I want it here. Yeah, I'll say the Talisman. Hey, there's the map. Nice. Yeah, with the Tamio, the Cryptic Command, the Time Warp, and the Echo, you could just, like, loop turns pretty consistently. Was the thought. Pretty reasonable late game for this style of deck. Cool story, Chris Thorin. By not taking the green card, we got to take Expedition Map, and that card finds Tolarian Academy. And that is pretty exciting to me. Deck kind of needs, like, just like one cut, Maybe it's this Wandering Emperor. Am I going to retire after day 365? Oh my god, don't threaten me with a good time. I've actually been thinking about that a lot lately. Not retiring soon or anything, but like what my plans are for that. My timeline is. If I want to try to keep on streaming or being in content creation for the rest of my life. If I want to explore other career paths. That sort of thing. I don't know. But I've been thinking about it, mulling it over. Must be a tough pivot. Away from streaming, yeah. A lot of times when streamers and YouTubers and stuff move away from their whatever they were doing, whether it was streaming or YouTubing or what have you, they move into related field. Like managing. You think this song sounds like the Minions are singing? Who doesn't like the Minions? Yeah, this could just be a deck, I don't hate one more Mana Source, but we do have like 2 Talismans, Bauble, Lotus Petal, Expedition Map. Those are all like sort of lands, you know? This is fucking... it's just fucking... Mana looks pretty good. Not bad turn 1 over there. I think I'll not crack this Aether Spellbomb. Mana Work's coming in saying, ooh, early morning Daleb. That's the good shit. Absolutely. None of those bad shits around here. Hey. Tunes hitting this morning. I don't think Skull Clamp triggers when you bounce a token anyway, but... If I Factory Identity the Nettle Cyst, they would get to draw 2. If I steal the Karn, I'm just making like a 3/3. It would be satisfying, though. Do I have my specs listed anywhere? I should, hub. This is just a USB mic. In Audio-Technica. Yeah, it's a Audio-Technica 2020. So if you search like AT 2020, that's what I'm using. Pretty solid mid-range condenser mic. Pretty happy with it. Level up from like something basic, but not especially like schwankity. I tried doing a more fancy setup. Ended up with a bunch of issues. I think the audio device I got had too many, it was too complicated. I do not recommend a Blue Yeti. It's like fine if you already have one. Thanks, babe. Blue Yetis have never been top of the line. They have been advertised a lot. Aggressively fine, yeah. The yeah, there's nothing wrong with it if it's like very specifically what you want, but everyone like recommended them and advertised them and stuff, and so like a lot of people got them when it was like not exactly what they wanted, not exactly what they needed. I think I'm supposed to make a token and pass here. The audio quality is like just fine for a condenser mic, and then you have this like big thing that like sits on your table, which can be hard to, you know, it's picking up like all of the audio in the room, right? And if you have something smaller, like this AT 2020 that I'm speaking into right now, it's like slightly better audio quality. But the most important thing is I can put it right the fuck in front of my face, turn down the gain. All of a sudden, it's not picking up, like if a mouse walks by, it's not picking all of that up, right? There's pretty much no way to position a Blue Yeti where you're not getting that. Do I typically have mice walk by? I do, yeah. I've been having mice issues. I got these like mouse deterrent pellets that just like apparently the smell is supposed to bother them, and I spread a bunch of them around where I knew they'd been going, and it doesn't seem to have done anything. So next up, maybe I'll start, I don't know, laying out some traps. I don't really want to do poison because that seems like inhumane as fuck. Not a good way to die. I might just get some cats too. We kind of want to get cats anyway. With poison, you have to worry about if something starts eating the dead mice. Oh no. And then we'll get gorillas to take care of the snakes. We have some stuff that's like kind of good at poking random artifacts. I don't know if I want to play it over any of this stuff though. This stuff seems pretty good. I'm just gonna cement. Almost want to like turn one portable hole so I can turn to the Emery. It's not great, but I'm gonna portable hole their tap to mana vault. It still like lowers the artifact count. You got a bunch of mongooses to handle your snakes. How did you handle the mongoose population? Am I gonna get fucking orc into draw 7? Well, I've got a swords trapped in my hand. It's not gonna happen here. Because I played the most irrelevant portable hole of all time. I need to clean my fucking desk, is what I'm learning right now. Got a turkey club. Oh no, Twitch chat. Jesus Christ. When I was in college, I was kind of a I was just like a regular partier kid. And I put money, like, I paid attention to my studies, and I was like working. I still graduated in 3 years with a double major and stuff, but I was partying a lot. And a friend of mine had to like lose her pet rodents because they got discovered in the dorm. She was like trying to keep them under wraps, as it were. And they discovered them, and they were like, you can't have those here. You can't have pets in the dorm. And she was like, I don't know what to do with these rats. I don't know what to do with them. They were the hamsters. I don't remember. But she was like, Caleb, you got to take these. I'm like, I am not the right person for this. I am working a job to put myself through college. I'm like, got a full load. I'm doing like 18 credits this semester. And I am still, partying it up. I'm like the last person you should be entrusting this to. And she was like, I don't have any other option. You can do what you want. I just need to like have them off by my conscience. I was like, all right, I'll do my best, I guess. My best was not very good. There was a weekend I ended up getting like dragged away to play a few shows in the garage metal band that I was in, and I had forgotten to get a sitter for the hamsters. And when I came back, I was like, shit. And, and I like ran over to the cage. And I opened it, and the big one was just like looking at me all like cheery and happy. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're fine. Maybe there was like more food in the cage than I remembered. And then I found the teeniest little pair of hind legs for the other one. And I was like, oh no. just the little feet, just the cutesiest little feetsies, and that's all that was left. The lesson being, if someone tells you that they're not going to be a good person to take care of your pets, you should listen to them. That's very Tequila Sunset of me, exactly. Did it develop a taste for hamsters? Maybe I shouldn't tell the rest of this story. So, here's the rest of this story. There was another person that I met at the college who was like he worked with me in the cafeteria, and he was like always like scrounging. He was always trying to get me to like go in on crazy things with him and stuff. And he was like, Caleb, you gotta buy these ostrich eggs. Like one egg is like a whole omelet. That's such good value. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't eat that many eggs, man. Like I don't want to. He was always like trying to get me to do stuff, right? And he had a pair of ball pythons that he had to get rid of. And it's kind of like, Caleb, you just got to take these. There's a recurring trend of people like giving me animals, I guess. You got to take these. I don't have a space for them. Someone's got to take these ball pythons. I was like, all right, I guess. And it turns out that snakes eat a lot. And I did have one hamster left that I'd already proven I was not the correct person to be taking care of, right? Like, that was much better to be eaten by a snake, I think, than accidentally forgotten and left to starve over the weekend. So to answer your question, no, it did not develop the taste for other hamsters. Fortunately, my friend never asked about her hamsters, because then I would have had to tell her that one of them consumed the other one alive, and then I fed the other one to a snake. Fed the survivor to a snake. The guy that gave me the pythons to take care of was then like, hey, Caleb, I'm going to need like $60 for those snakes. I was just like, absolutely not. Here, take this responsibility and not pay me for it. Yeah. The coolest thing about having snakes, though, was naming the mice that we fed them. The names of people we didn't like. A little petty, a little childish, but I was like 18 or 19 at the time. Hey, C-Stone Debate, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 103 months. Thanks for sharing that Prime. Not morbid at all, yeah. Casually doing snake magic. What was the first snake name? I think it was just one of my exes who had been like particularly vindictive. Nothing exciting, nothing funny. And I had been warned by other people that like knew her better when I first started dating that she like was not great, not a great person. But you know, when you're young and you got all the fucking what's the word? You have all those hormones going crazy. And you get your dick sucked for the first time and you're like, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. This is going to work, I tell ya. She's the one. Anyway, that was a pretty rough year. But at least I wasn't at least I was out of my parents' house. I remember moving out of our apartment, and she had started like breaking as many of my things as possible, like before I could move them out on my moving day. That was rough. It was a rough day. We can play the Cannoneer. I think I want to. Opponent's got so many cards in hand. You think one of them's a counter for this Toidle? Another story I probably shouldn't tell. I had to move back in with my dad, and I was like unpacking my stuff, and I noticed that his digital camera, I'd borrowed his digital camera for a project for school, and I noticed it was missing, and I told him, and he's like, well, guess you owe me $300, and I was like destitute. I was like, oh, And so I was thinking, like, what the fuck am I going to do? It was like a very big deal to me at the time. They could have killed the turtle here by using the Tez to untap the Coalition Relic, and then they could have actually they could have just paid for the Ward 4, because this could have been used to help pay for it. That's cute. Maybe they've got another plan, though, if they're just drawing cards. Anyway, so I'm thinking, like, what the hell am I going to do to get this $300, and I couldn't, like, think of anything. And so finally I, like, got back with her so I could comb our old apartment. And I found where she had, like, hidden it. Literally, like, inside of a I'd been like saving aluminum cans, and she'd like hit it inside of the top of one of the bags. And I noticed because I was like moving one of the bags and it was heavier than the others. Anyway, so I like went back with my ex and slept with her for another week to comb the place and like find the camera that she'd stolen. And then I just like showed it to her and left, like without saying anything. $300 fucking dollars. When you're working minimum wage, that's a lot of goddamn money. Do I still have her number? No, Del Mods, don't do it. Oh my god. Like I made a 1? That's not great. I think that does it for me. Hell yeah. You play your sealed decks in the top 8. Or not your sealed decks, your fucking, whatever, your constructed deck. You just play that in the top 8. Oh, this isn't top of library. It's a card from hand. Amazing. Well done, me. I'm so used to playing with Mishra's Bobble. I was like, I'll bobble myself before I crack my fetch. See what the top card of my library is. Seachrome Coast has been revealed. Well done. At the Pro Tour, is it Affinity? So is it Affinity had like an explosion in the first few days, but it's been tapering off a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, let's draw the swords and then just shuffle the rest away. Oh shit, what up? Hey, I am 333. Thanks for the saw. Thanks for 24 months there, the 2 years. Nice. Yeah, I was hoping they would play something that was Swords to Plowshares-able here. The Voice of Victory makes the counter awkward, so I just wanted to get it off the board, basically. Affinity can always be hated out. Yeah. I mean, my last round opponent tried to play Wrath of the Skies, and I countered it and killed them. But you're right that folks are certainly more prepared now than they have been. Meltdown of Modern helps, yeah. Force of Vigor helps. Nice. Then we get a little nice shuffle here. We just have Cryptic Command up. Oh, I've got some actual water. Uh-oh. Just fishing for gas here. Yeah, I need to find like a draw 7 or something. Urza would be great here. Top's a great card, yeah. They don't make them like that anymore. For good reason. Should have floated with the Academy first, technically. I don't think it really matters. Kind of worried about just getting soloed by this Gorilla Shaman. There is a Time Warp in the deck. That'd be a pretty good hit. Nice. Fair enough. The Minsk also could have pumped in, because it can just pump a haster and trample or haste. So they didn't have to down tech and sack their thing. They could have grown it before serving in. Seems like a matchup for Wandering Emperor, Maybe over Basalt Monolith. We do have some expensive shit, though. I had high hopes for that game after we cheered for the Academy and had top going and stuff. This game I just have sober hopes. Shorkai would have been so good. Last game, we had the mana for it, just infinite gas. If I have my third land here, I want to run out the Nettle Cyst. I don't want to be smacked with the Bora a bunch. I drew my card before deciding to Swords, because I might have drawn Karakas, and then maybe I just like leave the Evora around to get bouncered or whatever. Now that I hit some more land drops, I'm feeling a little bit better about the hand. Ideally, we get to a spot where we can... interesting. Kind of feels like they're gonna either remand me or flash a little something in. Hey, J Wiz, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 66 months there. Kill a thing, maybe crack a blood token, sure. Looting away Phoenix, that's cute. Another artifact would go pretty well here. Heck of a card that Time Warp, huh? Imagine if Time Warp only costs 1 and a blue. Ridiculous. Fair enough. Kill Emery Tez, yeah, makes sense. Don't quite have lethal next turn. If you like Cryptic Tap so they don't have a blocker. Because you can tap the 3 pilot tokens to crew the Shore Archive and throw the Nettle Assist on it, but it's only 12 damage currently. Right. Why wasn't I thinking about that shit? Just take 10, go to 3. Guess I was supposed to damn hum. To 1 I go. So you just cast the dam there. The Burst Lightning and the Phoenix kill you. Thinking here. I think that makes an 11-11 Short Kai. We'll see. Nope, just a 3-3. Does Fracturing the Fury let you kill the Phoenix? If I had done that, I would have been able to kill the Phoenix, yeah. I was worried about letting them untap and being able to, like, play a burn spell, though. Post-draw 7. I was hoping that I could kill them that turn. Or, like, chain to Time Warp or what have you. Fracturing the 1-1? Yeah, yeah. And Tez, like, gives you a counter just from something coming into play. So it let us use the blood token for, like, a point of damage and ult the Tez. Oh, I don't know about all that two-tone turn. 43 matches still in progress. Round time of 30 minutes. So close to a good opener, huh? Yeah, I was worried about bidding my white source. And then drawing dam immediately. Fair enough. is this playlist? This is my regular stream playlist. What percentage time do I cast a spot removal of Dam? A lot more often in straight black-white decks. Pretty rarely in my blue-white decks. Seems like the sort of matchup where every life point matters, huh? But I didn't have to cast the Emery, Sylvan Librarian. It's all part of the same line, right? Like, I could have spent that turn spinning the top to make sure that the Robber the Rich didn't hit anything good and that sort of deal. I got my Kappa Cannoneer. That would be an embarrassing card to lose to. Oh, shit. And you could run out Emery here. I'm just going to pass. Very possible. I was just supposed to either, like, tap the top to draw the Urza and play the Emery here and then have Caracas up. Or I'm supposed to, like, play the Portable Hole that turn and just pass with the Caracas up to brick the Ragavan. Oh, shit, what up? Hey, Nixon Merritt thinks the Sob thinks it's 67 months. 2-0 is a hell of a start. It is indeed a hell of a start, yeah. The Reflection Copying Fury is just lethal. Because 12 damage by its lonesome there. And Portable Hole doesn't do anything. That's fucking rough. No, my Academy! On board, the Fury doesn't quite kill both creatures, but I'm very close to dead. Has been taking like 8 damage here. Getting really punished for running out the Urza that turn. Does saving Emery make sense, or do I want to spin the top? Oh, I need to save Caracas for the Ragavan. Yeah, if they don't force me to use the Caracas, then I do just get to spin. Wonder if they're gonna sack the Fury there to put me to 2. Nice. Too bad I don't have a way of binning that Echo. Nice and clean, huh? Hello. Does it make sense to take an extra turn first? Yeah, then I can have Crocus up for Ragavan again. And trade Furies. Oh no, it's my Fury. They have one in hand. Yeah, let's just play that now. Heck of a card, that Fury, huh? No! Burst Lightning off the top! Off the fucking top! God damn it! I'm like over here doing math. I'm like, alright, so we Fury them down to 12, Time Warp. Can Fury them down to 6, just need to fade one draw. Damn. That was a fun one. It does feel like Classic Affinity deck doing Classic Affinity things. That new Warp thing just like really made a lot of those old cards that were very vulnerable to you just like losing a few pieces, made them good again. They just Mystical for Preordain. That's got to be like a I need to hit my land drop sort of play, right? That's wild to me. You've been enjoying the landfall deck in the cube. Seems like the critical mass of cards for it is finally there. Yeah, I agree. Critical hits, Dave. And right now, there's like a lot of overlap between what Green was already doing. I cut a Nadu from a blue-green deck the other day, and I was like, that's a pretty good sign. That you could have a nutty green deck without Nadu in it. Somebody was saying that deck's already up on YouTube. I highly recommend watching it. Probably the most broken deck I've had this season. I'd put the lotion in the basket. The basket. Fucking basket. Kennedy wins. Didn't feel like a damn matchup from what I saw, I don't know what I'm supposed to put in there. Because, again, we don't really know what they're doing. Maybe Absent is better. It's like, don't change anything. Just like minus damn plus Absent. Maybe Mana Tithe. I don't know. Not taking out Soul Ring as a call. Well, if they just kill the Soul Ring, then the Emery just rebuys it, right? So the raid target was appropriate. Is Ice Till Explorer the best new green card from EOE? That's hard to judge. There's some very powerful cards added. The landfall to double the power of a critter has been really impressive too. Tersa, the 1/2 power doubler, the 2-mana one. I think that one is new this Cube Sitter season, yeah. The one they played? No, it's been around a season or two. It's solid, hum. Yeah, that one is also a legend. I wonder if I should be worried about mana leak here. Oh, we can pay for 4. We can pay for 3, rather. Deciding whether to play the land first, right? How do I feel about that? I'm just gonna do this. Not have my card. A little bit of tempo. Yeah, deal. That is not what my target would have been if I were them. Maybe they're just like excited to draw a card when I draw 2 cards. I think I maybe should have just played the talisman and passed, and then they like lose their mana. At what point is it correct to smash them with an 8/8 instead of drawing? When the game's locked up. That is unfortunate. Might explain why they were leaving the Shorkai around instead of abrading it. One of the less painful Dax Steel Shorkai is possible here. Does deny me a draw for a turn. Get a little peck in there for 2. 2 pilot tokens should have served the deck in case they had another 1 mana burn spell. Oh, like kind of part of the line, but I didn't do it. Sick turn, yeah, not bad. Caracasing in response to Dak. Well, it's not a creature unless you crew it. Hey, the killer rabbit thinks they're converting a prime sub to a tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. Looks like the Super RCQ is going well. It is. Yeah, not bad. Not a bad start to the old day. If Caracas could bounce itself. So this turn the Shorkai is Summoning Sickness. Might just untap the hero token. Let's get a little cheeky vigilance. Oh, maybe they're hoping to hit Dacra Braid out of the graveyard. Interesting. Yeah, maybe not leaving the Crocus up was a huge error. I guess we'll find out. Mystical Tutor. Probably not what they were hoping for, huh? Monstrous Rage. Pretty sick card. They fired off that block. They're like, this is the correct block. Didn't want to lose their 2/2 there. Yeah, that deck was pretty fucking sick, huh? Looks like only one match is in progress here, so we'll wait, and then after the next match,